Alright, so I wanted to give you just a little info on this thing that I got. And I'm like shaking all over the camera stand. Sorry about that. Alright, hopefully that's better. Alright, so a couple things. I couldn't find any information online through Google. Did all the searches, ran all the numbers. There's a number here, number here, number here, and that's about it. We're blank. So if you can see that there, it's a Simo, and it's got a model number. So SIMO. But with that said, I know what it goes on now. After doing a tour search, this comes out of Korea. It's actually manufactured in India. I'm sorry, Indonesia. I said that completely wrong. Anyways, this casting part is. I don't know about the other part of this. It's manufactured in Korea, though. So this goes to a little ATV cart-looking thing that looks like a Jeep. And they put it inside it. It has a 60cc gas four-stroke engine in it. Now, with that said, I have no idea what that means because overseas they label stuff whatever they want. So the seller that's reselling this as a new unit that you can use on smaller engines is selling it as a 50cc all the way to 110cc unit. Now I did a CAD drawing. I took one of these apart to might walk this. I have a few of these. I unboxed one yesterday. I just did one today. And we're going to do 5 total. I have 5 engines I'm building at once. I have a couple of ideas what's going to happen straight up. We're going to bend push rods. We're going to bend, we're going to break bearing journals, or we're going to bend a conrod. One of the 3 is going to happen with this, I'm pretty sure. Or we're just going to straight out blow ahead and have a valve crack one of the heads. I put the springs in to kind of soften the blows a little bit here. What's actually, it's going to make it worse, the harder springs, but we're going to have valve float with this like crazy. You have a lot of pressure pushed in. Thinking this is going to do anywhere from 1 to 7 psi, which is kind of funny when you really look at it. But we're going to put this on a 53cc engine. So the realistic PSI boost of this is like maybe 1 through 4. So we have a gauge that we're going to hook up to this and stuff. When we do it, we're going to see where it actually really goes. Now, some of the confusing information I'm getting about this, and don't get me wrong, I've never done a micro turbo on a tiny little engine, but we're going to be using a Nibby 17. And it states that you need to have 1/2 the size of the intake on this. So I just want to show you, it's full size in, full size going into the carb, and then 1/2 the size coming in through the carb. So they also required full size jets for twice the size carb on the main jet. So the other thing too that the seller told me is this is oil cooled. He's completely freaking wrong about that. This is not oil cooled. This is a water cooled turbo. It is water jacketed. I took one apart. All the seals and stuff were in there. The thing that's nice about a water jacketed one is the intake is going to suck in from a tank. You have your overflow tank. It's like a reservoir, so it has something to always suck water in from. Has its own little propeller inside there that will push the water through the system, through a radiator and back to your return tank. So it'll always circulate without a pump for you as long as this thing is running. So big huge bonus to a water cooled one, but the seller has that dreadfully wrong. We're going to be using 120 millimeter by 240 millimeter PC radiator for this, so that's going to be the goal anyways. But yes, it has its own pump, so you don't have to worry about pumping water through it. The spinning motion of this will actually circulate the water through it on its own. So, you know, big screw up on the seller's part there. I did check what that thing used, and it was all water cooled. Everything was on it. The engine's water cooled as well. The head is anyway. So I don't know what thread pitch that is, and I don't know what thread pitch that is either, because it doesn't match anything metric. It's like 1.4 thread pitch. It's very weird. 1.5 doesn't quite fit, and I don't know. They probably threaded it by machine, and it just came out lousy. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking I'm gonna just retap them in 1.5, kind of. I don't know, unless there's some weird fitting. I gotta research that more. But it's like 1.35 if you really want to get to it. The thread pitch of it doesn't quite match anything of a gauge that I can put in there. So not really sure what the hell to do with that yet. This thing here is going to be an obstacle. I'm actually going to cut a brass drop-in insert with an O-ring that sits here and an O-ring that sits here, and then I'm going to put a plate on it that's got my tubing off of it. Exhaust going in is going to be easy peasy there, but I am going to have to weld that on an angle going into a plate. Exhaust going out, we have to double. So whatever that is, we want to keep that open, so we're going to literally just open pipe this thing right to the plate. So we're good with that. So we're going to have something basically like this, just sticking down. It's going to be loud as hell. But all in all, I think this is going to be a pretty cool project. Is it realistically going to do anything that's like super impressive versus just a bigger engine? No. It's just a lot of money tossed at something to make something super cool. If you were in a race kart, superkart kind of deal, maybe, where you're like little kids in there and he's got a 50cc engine, would it give an advantage? Probably. 100cc? Probably. Is it a lot? No, but you're limited to that size engine, so then in that way, yeah, it would benefit you. If you want something with a coolness factor on something smaller that does its job but on a very small scale, then yeah, that's cool. But you just dumped a lot of money. So anyways, that's my basic review of it. I mean, we're going to get it on, we're going to test it, we're going to see real world kind of deals, but as far as the CAD goes, it doesn't line up with what the seller's telling me. I mean, it definitely would blow the hell out of a 212. Like, I could definitely see this driving the crap out of a 212. So, that's my 2 cents on it. It's not even listed for that, but just CAD drawing wise, it's more of a 200cc kind of turbo in my eyes. But that's just from my perspective of it. That would be something great with EFI on like a 212, on like a go-kart. That would completely rock. So I believe that's where these are going to end up going more, because the price point of this at $250 is not worth it on a smaller CC build. And I believe that's where they're going with these, is about $250. So I don't know. I just we'll see what it does. That's what matters. We'll see what it does. We'll see if what they tell us is right. We'll see if the CAD workup matches what they tell us. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be super impressive. Who knows? Alright, so I figured I'd show you with the impeller how the exhaust side's down here. But just you can take a look at it. Pretty good quality. But, you know, I got it off. I'm getting ready to cut some stuff because I want to change something. I made that small notch there so the valve can fit. And what that'll do is, if I can show it, when I weld everything up on the plate, it's going to now direct the straight back. Another big thing with this is pull through or blow through the carb. And I don't know, I'm torn on this one. I've done both. So if I have my plate welded, it'll sit like this. I could put a 45 on there and then put a carb right where the engine is and then 90 it right in. So I could do that, or I could put the carb right off the engine and have a feeder line come off this and blow right into the carb. Or I could have the carb come directly off this and it go through the turbo and into the, I don't know, choices, you know what I mean? So, anyways, I like it like this configuration, because literally it'll be sitting like that then. So the exhaust will actually be going in like that. I got plenty of clearance to clear the frame then. So, I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Pass through or pull in? I think I could do it either way. The instructions are to do a draw-in carb setup. Half the size, twice the size of the jets.